Good morning, Brownsville. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you are watching this feed. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Frankie Avila. Our program focuses on the very important issues that are affecting our local community. We have shed light on injustices and have allowed for this platform to be the voice of the people. Now, if this is something that you can see yourself supporting, well, we ask that you like, comment, and share this live feed. Now, if you have been following us as of late, we have stated that our Facebook page is currently at risk of being taken down. You see, the powers that be do not want you, the voter, you, the citizen, to know the truth. But remember, fam, we will not be silenced. Now, if this is something that you can really see yourself supporting and being a part of the cause, wanting to stand up to corruption and holding our leaders accountable, well, make sure that you follow our social media platforms. Just in case, Brownsville, just in case we go dark, you cannot find us anymore on Facebook. I promise you, we will still be going live Monday through Friday religiously, rain or shine. Good Morning Brownsville will come on to you every day at 9 a.m. So, what do I ask of you? To subscribe to all of our social media accounts. We could be found on X, formerly known as Twitter, under Frankie Avila. Make sure you follow our regular Facebook page. We could be found under Olivo Frankie. And also, it is our goal, ladies and gentlemen, for us to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year on YouTube. Currently, we are at 590. Now, again, you do want to support the cause. You want to be part of this movement of holding our leaders accountable. I don't ask for much, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't. You have two options. You can follow my pages, and also you can subscribe. You can subscribe to our Facebook page, and also you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember, Brownsville, I will never, ever ask you for money. I will never, ever ask you for food. Well, depends what you're making, and if you got some mean tamales. But the little that I ask of my community is to subscribe to my pages. Again, it's the little that I ask of you. I'm risking my life out here. My family is worried about my safety. They know the commitment that I've made to my beloved predecessor and to you, my community. I don't ask for much. The little that I do ask of you is to subscribe to our Facebook and to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It will help me. It will help me greatly down the road. And thank you so much once again, Brownsville, for tuning in. It really means the world to me. Thank you so much. How we doing, chat? How we doing? How we doing? Nah, send the real stars, Molina, not those stars. Just joking. How we doing, chat? Summer is here. Finally. It's very important for us to go out and get some rays. It really helps with I'll speak on myself. It really helps for me mentally. You know, it's a great way for me to recharge my batteries. Doing what I do is very difficult. It consumes me. It really does. But I encourage you to get some sun. Go out. It's good for our mental health. It allows us to breathe in fresh air. We all are in a rat race, so to speak. We're all trying to progress our family, provide. And what do? We're chasing that almighty dollar. We're in that rat race where we work an 8 to 5. Sometimes we don't shut it down until 9 or 10. We go to sleep, wake up, and we do it all over again. It's amazing what the sun, what vitamin D, not that D, guys, but vitamin D. It's amazing what it does to the soul. So just because it's summer, ladies and gentlemen, don't think that we will be idle. No, sir, no, ma'am. Here at Good Morning Brownsville, we will be very busy this hot girl summer. And we're working on stories, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all think that I'm not busy. Y'all think I'm here doing nothing. No, I'm working. I got my own business to run. And plus, I'm working on stories for you because I want you to stay up to date. The politicos don't want you to know this information, but Good Morning Brownsville will. We're working on stories that will keep you in tuned Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. with Good Morning Brownsville. Subscribe if you haven't already. Just to give you a little insight into what we're working on, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be covering the jailhouse riot that happened at the Cameron County Carrizales jail earlier this month. We did have a jailer, a lieutenant, that was recently arrested. Well, again, there are 3-4 sides to every story, so to speak, and we'll be giving you details into what exactly happened and why the sheriff's office possibly does not want you, the public, the outside world, to know. Also, we'll be having Miss Morgan Graham, the former chairwoman of the Republican Party, on the show in the very near future. You know, we have questions in regards to Miss Morgan. What are her thoughts on the current state of the Republican Party and its recent endorsements? A lot's been talked about. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I've been very honest and very upfront. Transparency for me is very important. I've stated ever since we got behind the camera and on the mic, we stated that we'll be covering individuals, those that make promises to us, those elected officials that, quote unquote, state that they will provide a better quality of life. But what we've seen and what record shows of their time in office is that they're on the take. They've done nothing for the citizens of Brownsville, but they've done everything for themselves and for their families. Yesterday, I was criticized for being biased, which is mind-boggling to me because, again, here at Good Morning Brownsville, we focus on providing you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it's always important. It's always important for me to do so because you, the voter, deserve to know, because you're a taxpayer. We all have skin in this game when we talk about the different government entities that represent us here in the city of Brownsville. And it bothered me whenever that individual said, and he's a conservative Republican, but the Republicans, conservatives, they've been upset at me lately because I've been saying it like how it is. They don't like for me to question their endorsed candidate. But again, here we will give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I was criticized for being so heavily, talking so heavily, and giving so much coverage to Pedrito Cardenas. And I said, can you blame me? Again, everything that we discussed, everything that we talked about is based on merit, on their time during their elected officials. And look at the material that we've had to cover on Pedrito. We'll be moving from bottom to top. Our last Monday segment was titled, "Oh, Brownsville, what a tangled web we weave." And we spoke about how Gustavo de Leon, Pedrito Cardenas, Roy de los Santos have done quid pro quos, backroom deals. They're not in it for the better good of you and I. They're in it for the better good of themselves. How Pedrito appointed Alejandro Nájera to PUB board because they want contracts. How Gustavo de Leon appointed Martin Sarkis, who can't even speak English, to one of the biggest entities that is PUB. Why? Because of contracts. On Tuesday, we talked about, is Pedrito going to be charged with nepotism for his role in Pedrito and Gustavo de Leon strong-arming the city manager's office to hire Carlos Elizondo? Will he be charged with nepotism? On Wednesday, we talked about how the Republican Party will be endorsing Pedrito Cardenas, who is a Democrat through and through, with a Democrat with a sketchy background, with many question marks. On Thursday, we talked about ¿Dónde vive Pedrito? Where does he live? Well, we found out that he doesn't live in District 4, and he doesn't even live in District 2. He lives in Rancho Viejo. You don't believe me? Go back to the show. 4500 Carmen Avenue in Rancho Viejo. Who does that property belong to? Mr. Alejandro Nájera. Huh. Where does that name sound familiar? Well, based on Friday's show, ¿Cuánta feria le debe Pedrito a Nájera? We talked about how there is an agreement between Pedrito Cardenas and Alejandro Nájera, a PUB board member that Cardenas appointed, that he borrowed thousands and thousands of dollars, possibly close up to 6 figures, ladies and gentlemen. We know the exact amount, but we'll refrain that from now. So Pedrito Cardenas has given us so much material to talk about. And day in and day out, all of last week was something different. Again, we pride ourselves in giving you fresh information. We don't repeat ourselves. We don't, no contrapeamos el programa. Every day is something different here at Good Morning Brownsville. Heck, we're turning into a small news agency. And for that, I'm very thankful, Brownsville, for lending me into your homes, lending me into your workplaces with a Bluetooth earpiece on. No one's going to know. No one's going to know. So again, to those people that say I'm being biased, heck, man, if a politician has so many question marks, has so many sketchy dealings, damn, maybe you shouldn't be your representative. And the only thing that they're criticizing Ms. Davies Zamora is for getting endorsed by the mayor, that he gave her $1,000, that she shits on PUB. Heck, we're making allegations that Pedrito Cardenas is washing $100,000. He doesn't have a job. He's stolen from taxpayer money. Him and his wife have been receiving grants. His cousin is receiving grants. They're the first ones in line to get all these thousands of dollars. But what about the citizens of Brownsville? What about the business owners, los empresarios from all over the city? Why don't they get $15,000? Heck, I'm a business owner. Why don't I get $15,000? We've stated that there's a backroom deal between Pedrito Cardenas and Susan and Deborah and the Republican Party for their support and their max text messages that they will have been sending out, that Pedrito will go against Vicente Gonzalez, the sitting congressman for District 34. Now, do you really think somebody's lying? Do you really think that Pedrito Cardenas is going to go up against Vicente Gonzalez, an individual that is very powerful, who has reported a $7 million in his coffers? Do we really think he's going to do that? Someone is lying. Who is it? Is it Pedrito? Is he lying to the Republican Party? Or is he lying to Vicente Gonzalez? You asked for it, Brownsville. You wanted the good, the bad, the ugly. Well, here we go. In today's episode, we titled it The Body Cam Video That Pedrito Cardenas Does Not Want You to See, Brownsville. And that is how we will start today's show. Stick around, Brownsville. Se va a poner, irá. Buena la cosa.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm a small business owner and I'm a member of the LGBTQ community. And my question is let's just go where it takes me. But as we know, the political climate is, something in this country. And there's a lot of changes going on, like DEI initiatives. And with it comes funding, right? And a lot of funding being stopped for certain nonprofits that help the LGBT community. So my question is, where do you all stand on this? What do those conversations look like to support the LGBT community in their safety, equality? I think it's great, that we have police presence and all of these resources are allocated, but how specifically do the conversations go in regards to the LGBT community, especially as these huge corporations are coming in and bringing in a diversity that Brownsville hasn't seen? We've been, for the majority, a Latino-based community here, and that is changing. And with that comes people whose views are very different, people that might not believe that Latinos deserve to be in this country, or that LGBT or trans people specifically have a space in rooms, even in politics and medical boards and all of these spaces where there should be equality. What does that look like for y'all? Is that something that's on your radar? Just to let us know your stance on that.
Well, I think the safety of everybody's important. I don't think it should be one community or another. I don't think it should change. I mean, safety is safety, right? I think we should respect everybody, and everybody should respect everybody else. So as long as we do that, I think we're good. I don't know exactly if there's any certain issues that have happened lately that will make that different than what I've seen. But I still believe in Brownsville right now. Yes, it is changing. You're right. I've seen the fights downtown, but the fights aren't against an LGBTQ or anything like that. It's just fights going downtown. So we need to continue just to serve everybody. Everybody should feel safe. Everybody should feel protected in their place of business, in their homes, on the street, at the movies, at the mall, wherever it may be. So, I mean, I don't think we should say we should just be focusing on one or another. I think we need to make sure that Brownsville is safe for everyone.
So this.
Again, today, this month, the month of June, is has been chosen by the LGBT community to show, to demonstrate, to appreciate individuals that have fought for inclusivity. The month of June, ladies and gentlemen, the month of June was selected for the LGBT Pride Month. And we have seen how Pride events, they're held during the month of June to recognize the impact that the LGBT community / people have had in the world. When we talk about the rainbow flag is commonly known as the gay pride flag or the LGBT pride flag. And this flag, ladies and gentlemen, it represents, it's a symbol of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer pride and LGBT social movements. Now, here in the city of Brownsville, this hits closer to home. Ramiro Avila Jr., also known as Kimberly, was last seen by family members on May 13th, 2017. You're talking about 8 years ago. Now, Avila was a transgender and was last seen wearing a black wig, a short dress, and blouse, a black t-shirt, and high heel stiletto shoes. Now, the circumstances of Miss Kimberly Avila's disappearance here in the city of Brownsville is very troubling. Our proximity to the border has caused a lot of eyebrows, a lot of question marks. How is it that this disappearance is still not yet solved? Again, she was last seen by family members on May 13th of 2017. Her sister gave her a ride to the 1200 block of East Washington Street in downtown Brownsville. They have not heard or seen from Kimberly since then. Family members, they did advise us that Avila is an open transgender. Now, Kimberly was known to be involved in tricking in the sex world. But it is unknown if she was engaging in sex when she went missing. This is something that many people have even questioned and said, well, maybe the reason why something happened to her was because of what she was doing. Now, Avila is a transgender. Although she's born a male, she identifies as a female or a gender fluid. And she does use the name of Kimberly. Her other nicknames is Junior. She was wearing gray contact lenses, a black wig at the time of her disappearance. Now, while she did have with her a cell phone, but it was only available to use for Wi-Fi. Now, we all may have our differences in regards to opinion regarding people's lifestyle. But what bothers me, ladies and gentlemen, is that people claim that this beautiful person named Kimberly Avila Jr. is somebody insignificant because of her way of life. of her sexual preference. Growing up is very difficult. We're living today in an economy where, man, life is hard. And maybe this individual resorted to the sex trade. No matter what we think, no matter what political ideologies we may have, religious backgrounds we may have, at the end of the day, this individual is still a daughter, a son, a brother, a sister, and a friend. Kimberly Avila deserves justice. Currently, right now, if I'm not mistaken, there is a $10,000 reward. Right now, you see on the screen that it is only $2,000. That was increased, raised to $10,000 for any information that either leads to or to help locate Kimberly or those that have taken her. Remember, Brownsville, violence against one is violence against all. Kimberly Avila and the city of Brownsville represents a very daunting task, a very daunting picture for downtown Brownsville. Why am I speaking about Kimberly? Because Pedrito Cardenas, in the video that I just showed, spoke about safety in downtown. He spoke about how he felt that everybody should be respected and everybody should be safe. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk about how Pedrito is a liar and he's a hypocrite because he has openly showed his disgust towards the LGBT community. Pedrito has openly been disrespectful to law enforcement and to the citizens around us based on his behavior on that night. So Kimberly is significant to the city of Brownsville in more ways than one because she represents someone that has disappeared, that nobody knows nothing about in 8 years. And it's because of people like Pedrito, who are homophobic, who is necio when he drinks beer. He can't control himself. He is the reason why people live in fear of all these fights going on in downtown Brownsville. We will get to that momentarily. Again, what have we seen during Pride Month? Well, we see how people are hypocrites. Not only is Pedrito Cardenas, who is being represented and endorsed by the Republican Party, but we see other Democrats that are hypocrites. Here we have the Democratic Cameron County chairwoman for the Republican Party, Ms. Deborah Bell. Her husband, Richard, is a principal at IDEA. And we stated last week how Deborah Bell and Susan for the Corrupt are so against Commissioner Roy de los Santos and his Pride agenda. But we asked the question, then why in the world does Deborah Bell's husband work for IDEA, a school district that endorses inclusivity? Pedrito talked about downtown, the safety of downtown, the downtown fights. If you don't believe me, go back and check the video. Pedrito said downtown fights. How is it that this individual who is against the LGBT community, who is against the Pride agenda, and Commissioner de los Santos is quest to be inclusive, give a space to everybody, how is it that this Republican chairwoman is against that, but yet her husband works for a school district that endorses diversity, inclusion? Wait, I posed a question. Has her husband, as a IDEA principal, they hate the gays, the Bells, they hate the gays, they hate the LGBT community? You don't believe me? Look at Deborah Bell and Susan Bell, Susan for the Corrupt. Look at look at how they've been hating on Roy de los Santos and his agenda. I posed a question, ladies and gentlemen. Has this principal that is married to the Republican Party chairwoman, has he not accepted a paycheck from the school district since they are clearly against the LGBT community? It's a valid question, don't you think? If not, if they are against the LGBT community, if they are against the drag shows, if they are against diversity, inclusion, has he been still collecting a check or no? Is he standing up for what he believes in? That's what you call hypocrites, ladies and gentlemen. Individuals que nomás son buenos para abrir la boca. It's like those people, I want to fight corruption. I want to fight corruption. Yes, I'm good. I'm for the people. And then you have corruption right in your nose. What? What? Corrupt? No, no creo. Those are hypocrites, ladies and gentlemen. The conservative movement, the Republican Party. Gracias por su atención. Y esperamos que estén aquí durante el verano, ¿eh? Green Alien. Gracias por el apoyo. Y échale ganas en los estudios, ¿eh? Muchas gracias. That's what you call a hypocrite, ladies and gentlemen. How can I be against corruption? And then I present you all the information. No. Eso no, Pedrito, no. Nope. You're wrong. Look at the Republican Party. They're scrambling because they look horrible. They're endorsing a Democrat. They're spending money on a Democrat. I'm not making this up. They're endorsing Pedrito. They're sending mass text messages for you to vote for him. Hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars. That's what you call hypocrites. To all those people that are for the people and fighting corruption, and I'm a man of God, and I'm a Trumper, and look what you're endorsing. Una rata, un mafioso, un hijo de papi que no tiene chamba, que lavó 100,000 bolas. But that's okay with you? Really? Okay. I've given you all this, ladies and gentlemen. Well, now I'm going to give you the most damning thing about Pedrito. The body cam. The body cam that Pedrito Cardenas does not want you to see, Brownsville. Now, again, everything that we talk about, ladies and gentlemen, everything that we talk about is based on merit. We have receipts. We don't just talk about this. We're not just making this up. Okay, Ariano, focus, Ariano. Ariano, focus on the task at hand. This is you. You're Trump. Ma'am, we're in a runoff election. Focus, ma'am. Focus. I understand the Republican Party. We'll talk about that. Ahorita, mira, enfócate, ma'am. Mira, enfócate. We're in a runoff election. Today and tomorrow, the last days. You want to talk about that stuff? We'll talk about it. Okay? Let's focus. Now, again, everything that we talk about, ladies and gentlemen, has merit. It is not Good Morning Browns' agenda to talk about facts. Susan says that I'm defaming people. Nah, hombre, Susan, your boy's corrupt. Now, when we talk about that there's a body cam video, it's because there is a body cam video. Now, let me take you to a Facebook post that we did just last week. Now, according to our post and according to our sources, on May 30th, we posted the Brownsville Police Department brought in Commissioner Pedrito Cardenas and questioned him about an incident in which he was criticizing gay people. There is a body cam that showed the incident, and they played it in executive session, and Roy de los Santos walked out. Now, what is executive session, ladies and gentlemen? Executive session is, yes, man, but you need to focus on the task at hand. You're like that squirrel. Ira. One step at a time, ma'am. Focus. One step at a time, please. Executive session is a time in where elected leaders, that be at the city, at the school district, at the port, whatever government entity, executive session is, even PUB. PUB today's going to have a meeting at 5. Executive session is when the leaders, the elected officials, they meet with counsel, they meet with the attorneys and discuss sensitive matter. As of late, we saw how BISD, in their renewal or the renewal of the contract of the superintendent, was discussed behind executive session. That is behind closed doors, where the public is not privy to that information. Only the board, only the commission, and the attorneys. Now, it's interesting. It's interesting that we posted about this because look what Commissioner de los Santos states. And again, we stated that Pedrito Cardenas was called into question because he was criticizing gay people. And according to my sources, that is what happened. But, okay, let me show you. Let me show you what Commissioner de los Santos states. He says, this is completely false. I was there for the entire executive session. I never left. And that is not the context of what was going on in the video we were watching. Under no circumstance and in no way, shape, or form was Mr. Cardenas being questioned about criticizing gays. Frank Olivo goes on to say, could you provide that video so we can play it, sir? Commissioner de los Santos goes on to say, Frankie, I was not given a copy of the video. I only saw the video. I do not have a copy to provide. There have been 2 public information requests going to the city, going back a couple months, requesting the city. And Gene Sims goes on to state, so what was he questioned about? Commissioner de los Santos says, since I saw, I can't give out that information, but while I cannot tell you what I saw, I can tell you absolutely what I did not see. And he was not being questioned about him criticizing gays. I say for the entire thing. So Commissioner de los Santos is well aware that there is a body cam video that was shown to the city commission in executive session. He's not denying that. What he is denying is, on my post, that police were called. Police were called for Pedrito Cardenas, who was belligerent drunk in downtown Brownsville. Now, this was a night in downtown Brownsville. Pedrito Cardenas was a sitting city commissioner. It was stated, ladies and gentlemen, that this body cam video is very damning. We have seen the video. But for safety purposes and to protect people, we are not going to show it. There has been an open records request that has been made, but something happened. Something happened that Pedrito did not want you, the community, you, the voter, to know right before Election Day. People have been trying to get their hands on this video and have been unsuccessful. Good morning, Browns. I've seen it. Why? Why have people not been able to see this? Well, because Pedrito, with an attorney, woo! Thank you, Rosas. Because Pedrito, through his attorney, got a court order to seal the body cam video. Now you ask yourselves, why would somebody want to seal a document? Why would somebody want to seal this information? Well, sealing court documents, it refers to the process of restricting access to specific legal documents, court records, body cam images. It makes them confidential and is not accessible to the public or unauthorized individuals. Hee hee. Guess who saw it? This action is typically taken for sensitive, private information that if disclosed, if this gets out to the public, it could harm their political careers. their businesses, or other entities involved. Sealing court documents is discretionary power granted to judges, usually done through a court order. So I beg you the question, ladies and gentlemen, why would Pedrito want this kept from the public? Why? Does he have anything to hide? Obviously. Now, again, if you go back to my video in which I showed you in the forum that El Muerto de Hambre, Trey Mendez, had for De Los Santos, for Pedrito Cardenas, Pedro stated that he spoke about fights downtown. You don't believe me? Go back and see it. How he feels that everyone should be respected and everyone should be safe. It should be safe to go downtown. We shouldn't need to have necios who are drunk, who are causing a ruckus in the city. We don't need that. You don't believe me? That's what Pedrito said. Well, I ask you the question, ladies and gentlemen, why would Pedrito Cardenas, want to keep this video from the public? Any guesses? Because it's very damning. And it shows the character of this politician. Remember, this video cam happened while he was a sitting Brownsville commissioner. Elected officials are held to a higher standard, ladies and gentlemen, than you and I. We're paying for their salary. City commissioners get $25,000. The mayor gets $40,000. We're paying for their salary to act a certain way. We don't pay for their salary for them to be belligerent, for them to be necios, for them to be causing a scene, for them to be criticizing gays. Now, I want to talk about this because according to Commissioner de los Santos, and Commissioner de los Santos is feeling the heat because according to the polls, he is down. And he wants to get Pedrito support. And, oh, Pedrito, if Pedrito and I lose, oh, the commission, oh, and Pedrito, I support Pedrito. He's trying to latch on to Pedrito. There's an alpha. I think it's stupid. There's an alpha thing. And maybe it's not just males. And I'll include women as well. Where they try to belittle someone. They try to poke fun at someone. You and I are well aware of what I'm about to say, and you know it's the truth. Us men, we use a word to try and belittle someone. Whenever mainly men, but it could also be female as well. Whenever they're growing up, hey, you need to be macho, no seas un, with the letter J. No seas un. Or that famous F word, the agat. No, oh, you agat. And what does that cause? Oh, I can't. Oh, no, I can't. I got to be strong. I'm not an agat. Oh, no. You and I can agree. We've all used that word. Sometimes maybe in joking around, maybe. But other people use it to belittle someone, to attack, to hate. I hate you. I hate your kind. That's Pedrito Cardenas. He does not like the LGBT community. He does not support the LGBT community. This video, ladies and gentlemen, is very damning because he was downtown drinking. And this is a sitting commissioner. The video, the body cam footage is very, very damning. This occurred in downtown Brownsville, where Pedrito Cardenas represents as a commissioner. Now, how bad must he have been for the cops to be called? Everybody knows who he is. Everybody knows who he is. The owners of that bar are very well aware of who this man is. Very well aware. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, a city commissioner blitzed out of his mind. That he was so blitzed, he was so obnoxious, era tan necio that he was calling people fat, agates, and hate was just spewing out of his mouth, ladies and gentlemen. Con una rabia. That's your sitting commissioner. That has said openly in the video that everybody should be safe. The LGBT community should be safe. Everyone should be safe while be downtown. Well, Pedrito's behavior on that night, he was causing people to be uneasy, to feel, I don't know, to feel at risk for their safety. No me siento bien. I don't feel good. I don't know, but that's a city commissioner. I don't know. I don't want to call the cops. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, how bad must this man have been in order for the owner of the bar to call the cops, knowing who this man is? Why do I say that, ladies and gentlemen? Because politicians, they always get the benefit of the doubt. We spoke about nepotism last week of how Minerva Peña got her then, God bless her soul, her daughter-in-law a job. It came to the point where they gave her an ultimatum. Because again, they're politicians. Hey, hey man, I'll try to be easy with you. And what did they tell Minerva Peña? Look, you either resign, this young woman gets the job, or you stay on the board and she gets fired. What did Minerva Peña do? I'm not getting down. What happened? She was charged with nepotism. She was arrested and charged. Politicians always get the benefit of the doubt because, again, they might hold something against you. If you're a police officer, they might have the police chief, hey, este vato nomás no, muévalo, make his life difficult. Has that happened? That's called retaliation, and it's alive and well throughout all government entities, the city, the school district, the port, everything across the board. Retaliation is real, ladies and gentlemen, very, very real. So, again, I'm trying to paint a picture for you. I can't show you the video. I wish I could, but I can't. I promised those individuals that I wouldn't show the video, so I can't. And Frankie Olivo is a team player. Pa que vean. So I'm trying to paint a picture for you, ladies and gentlemen, so I can't show the video. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, a sitting commissioner blitzed out of his mind that those present said that he was belligerent. He was even going behind the bar, wanting to make drinks when there was a packed house. The worst of it all, ladies and gentlemen, when the police came, guess what Pedrito did? He was taunting them. ¿Qué? And the typical Brownsville, ¿no sabes quién soy yo? ¿Qué pedo? Yo soy de la comisión, soy Pedro Cardenas, yo soy el bueno de Matamoros. You have seen this behavior by these alpha males that think that there's somebody and that their name and their position is, you know who I am? You know who I am? I can get you fired, police officer. I'm the commissioner. Mira, con una llamada al police chief. Mira, ¡zas! He was taunting them. He was very aggressive. He was belligerent. Ladies and gentlemen, if that was you and I, and again, I don't do that. That's why I hate going out. Guerrero talks about Brownsville Hood News, about their dance-offs, their dance battles, Rosas. And shouts out to Brownsville Hood News, man. Keep on informing the people, man. All love. If that was you or I, Rosas, if that was you or I, ladies and gentlemen, we would be arrested. No questions asked. Oh, andas de muy bule. Okay. You're taunting the police. You're threatening the police. Sir, turn around. Put your hands behind your back. ¿Sí o no, raza? I would be arrested quick. But why did this man get the benefit of the doubt? Because he's a city commissioner. Even though he threatened, taunted police officers. Arellano has a question. Isn't it supposed to be public information, especially since he is a city commissioner? Well, again, Ms. Arellano, guess what he did? He got a court order to block the public from seeing this. He's blocking news agencies, Good Morning Brownsville, from requesting this video from the police officer's body cam. He's trying to hold it, ladies and gentlemen, until after the election. Now imagine if the video leaks, gets out. Pedrito's doomed. His political career is doomed. Now again, imagine, ladies and gentlemen, Pedrito was being mean. He was being hostile. He was causing a scene in downtown Brownsville. He was causing other people to be in fear. And don't you hate that, ladies and gentlemen? Don't you hate when you're having a good time and there's always one necio like, Diosito mi vida, this guy cannot control his alcohol. That's why I don't go out. I don't drink personally, but I don't like to go out because people don't behave. Look at what Brownsville Hood News has been posting, the famous dance-offs, the dance battles. La raza no puede, porque, I'm a commissioner, yo soy el bueno aquí, no sé qué. Really? This is the Republican Party's candidate? No, Diosito mi vida. But yes, I'm crazy. Yo soy loco. I can't believe it. And to top it off, ladies and gentlemen, to top it off, this man was being threatening to the police officers. And guess what? Guess who the police officer endorsed? Oh my God. You guessed it. Over the past 4 years, it has been one of the greatest honors of my life to work alongside the brave men and women who I threatened and harassed on that night when I was a belligerent drunk, the Brownsville Police Department. Their daily commitment to protecting and serving, yeah, they're protecting themselves from you. Our community is unmatched. And I've seen firsthand the sacrifice. Oh, he's seen it, all right. There's body cam. He's seen it, all right. He's not lying, ladies and gentlemen. He's not lying. The professionalism and the heart that they bring. That is why and he's probably grabbing his heart right now. That is why I'm incredibly proud. To announce that I've received the endorsement of the police department and the fire department for my reelection. And he goes on to say, I don't take this endorsement lightly. It is a reflection of the strong working relationship that we have built and made the progress we have made together. Really, Pedrito? You were threatening them. You were harassing them. And you get their endorsement? ¡Qué vergüenza! ¡Qué vergüenza! En serio, raza. The fire department, the police department, the all these, they don't have a backbone or what? They don't know about this video camera or what, where he was taunting the police officers? Really? If Good Morning Brownsville with limited resources has access and has seen, and you don't think these people know? They know, but they don't care. That's why, bring me up. That's why if I ever run for office, I will not seek an endorsement from teachers unions, from BUG, from the coalitions, from this. It's all politics, ladies and gentlemen. They want this from the Republican Party. They want to say, look what we did. We got an elected official elected. The only endorsement that I, Frankie Olivo, and Good Morning Brownsville will be seeking will be that of you, my community. That is the only endorsement that I need. Can you believe that? Pedrito Cardenas was blissed out of his mind, was causing people to fear for their safety, for their well-being. Why is this guy acting this way? No se sabe cómo comportar o qué rollo. Mala copa o qué? And here he says, oh, yes, oh, and he was criticizing. He was calling the agates. Agates. He was spilling hate. hate from his mouth. And it's funny that Roy de los Santos, his running mate, is endorsing him. Va a acabar la chinga. What has Pedrito Cardenas done during his tenure? Well, he's harassed the police department. He's threatened police officers. And again, if that was you, right, ladies and gentlemen, no questions asked. Sir, turn around, put your hands behind your head. We're going to search you and you're going to get arrested. 1,000%. 1,000%, ladies and gentlemen. 1,000%. Okay, well, let's look at Pedrito's time during office. Again, he is coming up for re-election. He won office in 2000, 2001, if I'm not mistaken. So this is right up his alley. And what do we see? What do we see in regards to murder rate, the rape, robbery, aggravated assault, burglary, theft, motor vehicle? Well, the city of Brownsville, during Pedrito Cardenas' 2 years in office, saw a total increase of 30%. Right, bottom box, right here. An increase of 30% in crime. Look at theft, increased 32%. Aggravated assaults, 44%. Murder, 100%. And Pedrito got the endorsement of the police and fire department. For what? He hasn't done crap. Our city's getting worse and worse. They're stealing trucks like como es pan caliente. You don't believe me? Let's go to 2023. Murder has increased 100% in 2023. Burglary, 11.6%. Theft, almost 2%. But look at this. Motor vehicles. How much has that increased by? 73%. Ladies and gentlemen, when I come to you with facts. I'm not here defaming people, como dice la Susan for the corrupt. When we bring it, baby. Everything that we talk about is facts. Everything that we present to you is with receipts. What have we seen from Pedrito? He's all about Pedrito. Look at the crime. Look at the crime. This is during his time in office, ladies and gentlemen. Murder has gone up 100%. Motor vehicles in 2022 went up 45%. Aggravated assaults, 44%. Burglary, 12%. Look at this. We're glad that robbery went down. We're glad that rape went down. We're glad that aggravated assaults went down. But murder is still very serious here in the city of Brownsville. Burglary is still very serious in the city of Brownsville. But look at the motor vehicles. This went up 73%. This person, ladies and gentlemen, does not deserve your vote. People have been criticized for being biased. Oh, you're covering too much of Pedrito. Stop. He's the politician that keeps on giving to Good Morning Brownsville. Hay chingos de material en este vato. From Monday through Friday of last week, I gave you a different episode with different information. Nothing was repeated, ladies and gentlemen. Mira, sa. Y la gente, please stop, you're defaming him. Ay, Diosito de mi vida, por favor, Dios. And now, I present to you today the thing that broke the camel's back. Pedrito's hate for the LGBTQ community. Pedrito cannot control his alcohol. And when he drinks, he spills that hate. We're in Pride Month, ladies and gentlemen. You should be outraged. You should be furious that this man is hiding something from you. He is hiding that body cam from you, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Why is he hiding that body cam video that Good Morning Brownsville has seen? You want me to tell you why? You want me to tell you why he got a court order seal to prevent this from leaking to the agencies? Because it's damning. Very, very damning. You think I'm lying? Commissioner de los Santos confirmed that there is a video and that he did see it. And according to de los Santos, Pedrito's okay, you know. The video might be damning, but it's okay. I need to win. So, you know, vote for me, vote for Pedro. That's what our politicians are all about. You don't believe me that there's a body cam? Ask Pedrito Cardenas. Call him. Republican Party, were you not aware of a body cam of your candidate being belligerently drunk, jumping over a bar and wanting to serve drinks, being a necio, threatening cops, harassing cops, spilling hate from his mouth against the LGBTQ community? You think I'm lying? My sources, ladies and gentlemen, are sick and tired of people like Pedrito, are sick and tired of individuals that use the community for their own enrichment. My sources are sick and tired. Están hasta la madre with corruption. When I say that I'm working on a story, it's because I got information. Erasmo Castro left me troves of information. And then now I got a source that, let me let you in a little secret. It's only between us, so don't tell nobody, please. It's not like the world is watching. If it wasn't for that source of information, I would not know about this diagram that I have up for you. But this is just the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. My sources of information gave me this little information. They said, hey, let's see, kid, what you got. Let's see if you're good enough. They gave me a test run. They gave me a test run. They said, well, let's see if you could convey the message to the community. And guess what? They said, damn, boy, you legit. Too legit to quit. So guess what's coming, ladies and gentlemen, in the summer? A lot more information. My sources have promised me that I will spearhead this, in which we'll be targeting boards, políticos, exposing corruption. And for that, I am very humbled and honored by that opportunity. I have tried my best, ladies and gentlemen, to give you day in, day out, Monday through Friday, a different episode as to why Mr. Pedrito Cardenas should not get your vote. I think I've done my job. I'm doing it to the best of my ability. We're in the middle of early voting. Today is the last day of early voting. Make sure you stop by and vote. If you, after everything that I've shown you, are still supporting the likes of Pedrito Cardenas, get the hell off my page and I will block you, because you talk about corruption. You talk about holding our elected leaders accountable. And what do? You turn a blind eye? Screw y'all, man. I don't need y'all. I'm fighting corruption. I'm risking my life. My family is scared for my safety. But they know I'm not going to stop. They know I'm neck deep in this. They know I live for this. I want immortality. I want to be revered. I want to be remembered. You may laugh at me, but that's my goal. I'm either going to do it with you, my community, or without you. But together, we can join forces and we can bring about the positive change that Brownsville, Cameron County, South Texas so desperately needs. I'm doing my part for you, Brownsville. I hope you appreciate it. My name is Frank Olivo, and this is Good Morning Brownsville. No music. Just let the mic drop.